from Prairie Sky DIY, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba. This is our final Valentine inspiration piece. Lindor chocolate truffles. Really, they're a great gift for any season, any reason really. And this box was inspired by Sam Donald, who is a UK Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I love her 3D creations, and I took her project and made it larger and put my own spin on it. So for this one, we're using framed florets as our stamp set. I have got Dainty Flowers, which is the designer series paper that we're using. And because I'm looking for a Valentine feel, not necessarily a Valentine, I decided to grab some Real Red. Now I've scored all of these pieces. If you would like the measurements, the PDF tutorial is going to be over in my VIP group, which is linked down below. Excuse me, this is a sort of a modified milk carton. And as long as your measurements are equal, you should be good to go. So scored and burnished, our base, which as I mentioned is Real Red, I'm going to cut to the score line. So the width is the same as the depth of what's going to be our box bottom. And then we're just going to cut this little piece out because we don't need it. Grab our adhesive. Oops. And just give it a run up the side. Now, I love doing square boxes because all you need to do is fold, meet it where the fold lines are, and then we're going to go ahead and do our box bottom. You can apply the adhesive before you do this part. Really, it doesn't matter either way. I like to do adhesive on 3 of the 4 sides. You can use tear tape. You can use the snail like I am. Or if you prefer, you can also use liquid glue. Now, if you're applying liquid glue, you want to make sure that it's not applied too heavily so it doesn't go everywhere. All right. And that's why you want to put your adhesive before you fold your box shut. So the one that I didn't apply adhesive to is going to be our top piece. So I like to just fold, 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 and there's your box bottom done. Grab something tall and just kind of give it a bit of a push to make sure that it's going to be adhered well. Now we're going to do our top. So our top measurement, based on whatever you're doing for your box, needs to be slightly bigger so that it folds, or so that it sits on top easily without a whole lot of struggle. But because it's paper, it is a little bit forgiving. Oops, I forgot the other 2 score lines. All right, so we've got our size of our box. This requires no cutting. Now we need to do our top piece. So for this one, it's going to be a 1/2 inch. And when you're scoring designer series paper, you want to make sure that you're not doing it too hard, because if you push too hard, it can tear. Doesn't usually, but I've had it happen. All right, so that's it for our trimmer. We'll put it off to the side. Now this paper that I'm using is free during celebration. It's directional paper. And I scored it the wrong way. Not a big deal. I'll show you a quick, easy, fun fix for this one. Okay, so we're going to flip it back over, do our measurements again. There and there. Now for our fun little bits here, we're just going to add random design lines. Kind of give it a bit of texture. I'm not even really measuring where I'm scoring these. Do one down there. All right. Yeah, that works. All right. You know what? It's all good. So the short score line, you're going to fold towards yourself and burnish. This one you're going to fold. Now that we've added the lines, you want to make sure that you're burnishing the proper one. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add our adhesive, but for this one, it's going to be our lid. So we also want to have adhesive on the inside piece. So we're going to do our line of adhesive here. And then we're going to do a line of adhesive here. Now you do want to be a little bit careful with this one that these pieces are not going to stick. The top piece isn't going to stick to each other. You could also use tear tape. That would make it a little bit easier to make sure that it's not going to do something that it shouldn't. Then we're just going to simply slide over our bottom. And we're going to slide it to where we have our score line, roughly. And that's going to give it a little bit of strength and stability while we're doing the next piece. So what you're going to do is take the two side pieces and push it in. And try to get as even as possible. And then just squeeze together. And then you might just need to fiddle with it just a tiny little bit. And then I'm going to take it off and add a little bit of adhesive to this side, just to keep it closed. You could also use ribbon if you would prefer. Just punch a couple of holes at the top and you can do that as well. So there's our little top, just to slide over our milk carton. Our little decorative lines that cover up our little oops. And you can push it down just a little bit more if you would like as well. Now, I am going to add, there we go. I want to add a sentiment to this, and I've chosen the punch pack hearts. Now, the sentiment that I want to use is thank you with all your heart, or with all my heart. But as you can see, it doesn't fit on my heart. So what I'm going to do is take our heart pieces. Actually, I'm going to adhere adhesive onto this guy first. And I'm going to take half of our heart and place it this way. Then we're going to take the other half and place it that way. And grab our scrap of real red, our scalloped heart, and then we're just going to simply punch out 2 more hearts. So feed it through so you just pass by the edge of the paper, and then you can go just to where you don't see the other heart, and then that way you'll be able to punch out as many as you would like. And then we're just going to layer our hearts over top. Whoops. So that it looks like a double heart both ways. And then we're going to punch our sentiment. I prefer, if I'm doing this technique, I do prefer to have my heart done, or whatever shape I'm using. I prefer to have it done first so that the paper is flat and even. I'm just going to put a little line there. And then we're going to line it up this way. It does add a little bit of sturdiness. All right. There we go. Nope, not quite. There we go. Give it a good push down. And then we're just going to grab our Memento black, and you could do any color that you want. I like to have a little bit of black on my projects. And then we're just going to center it straight down, straight up. Grab our take your pick tool, and let's do, oh, you know what, we're going to add a little bit of black here just to kind of center it, and also, again, a little bit of black goes a long way sometimes. And then one more, because I like odd numbers. I'll do one here. Okay, and then for our sentiment, you can just place it on. It'll go over the edge a little. You know what? I think I'm going to use dimensionals just to give it a little bit of a pop. And I'm just going to go straight down the center here. 3 dimensionals. Actually, we'll do that. And that. If you wanted to, you could also punch a hole and have it be like a tag. Okay, so thank you with all my heart. And now let's do the test and see how many of these truffles we can get in here. This project is quick enough and easy enough that you should be able to bang out a few within a relatively short period of time. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And because our lid pokes up a little bit, we can probably even add a couple at the top. So that's 9. Do 10. Okay, and then we're just going to go put our box top on top, push it down, and there you go. Our box is done and ready for our recipient. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon.